All right, the Raiders have a guy skyrocketing up the depth chart. This is an undrafted free agent rookie that is going to play a huge part in the Raiders season. And these are the types of guys, if you can find them and they produce for you, huge, and goes a long way in rebuilding and retooling your team. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but we have this channel dedicated to teams and stories that just don't get covered by the national media. And we like talking about the underdog teams, and the Raiders kind of feel like that. I mean, just I don't know, people aren't taking them serious with the quarterback situation, and what do they got? New coach is like, where are we at? I think the Raiders are going to be good. I think they're going to be right in the mix, and we'll see. So before we get into that, it's Raider Nation, right? So there's a few franchises in the NFL where I do feel like they've got a national fan base. Raiders being one of those, and you see it more, especially now when you can watch any game anywhere, and you don't have to be as regional. But let me know in the comments where you're from, and you can look down there in the comments, and you'll see people from all over the country. Raider Nation is definitely one of those franchises that's just a huge brand that people, and you can be a fan in Florida, Washington, Michigan, Ohio. So let me know down in the comments where you're from. All right, the guy that I'm talking about, let me get to it here. There was an article put out about basically how this final preseason game, you saw some of these undrafted free agents that your general manager was able to find. And Tom Telesco has had an up and down kind of career as a general manager. Some people love him, some people can't stand him. But him, like a lot of the Raiders situation, a lot of people in the Raiders organization, it's like they want to prove people wrong. Simple as that. So the guy that I'm talking about is linebacker Amari Gainer. And this dude, Florida State. First of all, anybody that comes out of Florida State or some of these schools, Miami, he just looks sweet. He's one of those. Amari Gainer is a guy that, again, he's an undrafted free agent. So you you got to hit on a couple of these. You just do. I mean, it would be really nice, right? And you don't even expect him to be like a star player. That's not it. But man, could you just like help us and contribute a little bit? This guy is. And so I know this isn't the biggest picture, but I just didn't want to see if I can zoom in a little bit. I can't. It's fine. You get the idea here from this guy. There he is. He's sitting at linebacker. He's just going to drop back into coverage, and his athleticism is way better than this quarterback thinks. He breaks up the pass, so you'll see it from a different angle here in just a second. But he gets the depth that he needs just right back in here, and he's bigger, faster, stronger, more productive than people realize. And now he's able to step right in and be a contributor to this team. Here's another one that I think is really good. Let me play it. Okay, see him on the like kind of left linebacker spot. Man, he's strong and just physical. That's what's really good. So he gets kind of lost in the shuffle there a little bit, but then is able to bounce out, keep his leverage, and really can put his head in there and hit some people. So I love seeing that. Another thing is you go to the 53-man roster prediction, another article, and he makes the team as the fourth linebacker. So again, we're not expecting these undrafted free agents to be these star players. That's not it at all. It's just like, man, we picked you up for absolutely nothing and just signed you. And that is the difference. So everyone looks at the top line of teams, what you should. You got to have a quarterback. So again, we know in this situation, if the Raiders quarterbacks aren't any good, then this whole conversation doesn't even matter. But assuming that they can give you play, you got to have a quarterback, got to have some star players, Max Crosby, Devontae Adams. You've got to have stars. There's no question about that. But you absolutely have to have something. The floor of your team has to come up. So these first year guys going into second year and second year into third, are they going to show a difference with your coach and him being in the program and really being the head man here, Antonio Pierce, for the last year and a half or last, you know what I'm saying? This isn't his first year, but kind of is, but you know what I'm saying? He was here kind of half the season last year. So can he get all these guys bought in where that bottom level, that bottom part of your roster is now increasing? So there's two parts to this though with an undrafted free agent. Is he, hey man, what a steal, great, we're going to get him in? Or is our roster so weak so weak in spots that he can make the team, and that's not good. I don't think that's it. I think Amari Gainer is a really good player that you're just happy that you were able to get as an undrafted free agent, because I always am kind of fascinated with the undrafted free agent, just because I mean there's so many good players out there, and all it takes is you had an injury here, you had something happen there, where it's just like there's some really good players out there. So Amari Gainer, here's what Antonio Pierce said from his rookie linebacker, and gave him the green dot on Friday night. I thought Amari did a really good job. Listen, got the opportunity, made the most of it. I wouldn't want to get pulled right now when cuts coming up, stuck in there. I wouldn't want to get pulled right now. Pulled? I don't know what he's talking about there. He called the defense tonight. First time he's done that. So the fact that he's even in there playing green dots, great sign. I love that. Gainer will have an uphill battle to make the team, with Masterson not suiting up and Tommy Eichenberg expected to make the roster. His planned special teams will be a factor to help his chances in the 53-man roster. So it's not like a given, but my whole point in this is that what if the general manager for the Raiders has done a better job than what the Raiders have had over the last few years, and he's even finding undrafted free agents. He's finding guys that have an opportunity to come in and make something happen. Like, that's the big point that you're trying to look at and see, because again, who knows if he makes the team, but that's the whole point that I'm trying to drive at. Because remember, let me go back to Gainer just for a second. First of all, he's 6'3", 236 pounds. Okay. Played at Florida State, was productive. He, as a true freshman, he had a broken foot. He appeared in 4 games that season. He was a starter the next season, played in 13 games. He then transferred to North Carolina for his final season in 23. So he was there for a little bit, but he's just productive, kind of under the radar, had that injury early on. And you were able to find this guy. Makes me confident for who we can find in the future, let alone these guys that he found this round, right? So, or this cycle of draft picks. So again, I think the Raiders are going to be better than people think. I think their division's manageable. Obviously, you got the Chiefs, which is always tough, duh. But you've got the other teams in that division are all wanting to prove that they're fine and that they're going to be good. The Chargers and the Broncos. So can't wait to see it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And we will see all of you on the next one.